Hello everyone, this is Kamara with Rooted Futures. How are you? So we're up for another pick a card, and this pick a card is really tapping into the energy of the most recent eclipse. We're still in that eclipse energy as I'm filming this reading, and this pick a card is going to touch into the wisdom of your shadow. Your shadow has wisdom for you. Your shadow has a message for you. And your shadow is also comprised of those ancestors of the underworld, those ancestors of the unseen, the unconscious. So you will be getting some guidance from these ancestors today. And we have 3 piles to pick from. The first pile is Inyana. The second pile is Calling the Spirits. And pile number 3 will be the South American trip to the lower world. South American trip to the lower world. So take a moment to focus on one of these images and see which one appeals to you. I'll try to slide them up a little bit so that you can see all of them. And this will be group 1, 2, and 3. See which one calls to you the most. There may be more than one that calls to you. The timestamps will be in the description, so maybe you want to use the timestamp numbers. But either way, we're going to go ahead and get started with what is it that your shadow wishes you to know? What is it that your ancestors of the lower world wish for you to be aware of? Okay, my honeys, take care. Hello, group number 1. So you chose this image of Inyana. Let me just make sure that you could see that in here. Yeah. Inyana. Now, if you don't know the story of Inyana, I'm going to briefly tell you about it. Inyana was the goddess of heaven and earth, and her sister was the goddess of the underworld, the lower world. And Inyana, it says in some parts of the myths, I mean, some of it changes culturally, but Inyana set out to meet her sister in the underworld. But in order to get there, she had to go through 7 gates. And at each one of those gates, she had to give up an aspect of herself, an identity, a piece of, well, in the myth, it will say a piece of clothing she was wearing, until she got to the 7th gate and she was completely naked. And it was then that she had to finalize her whole descent into the underworld by facing death, by facing the most excruciating pain of death. Inyana's story here for you, group number 1, has to do with a process. It has to deal with you, 1, confronting the process of transformation, seeing transformation as a journey, not something that you do all at once, but something that's a journey that you set upon to do, and a journey that you most likely have to prepare for. It's not something that you will do on the fly. You have to be in a certain state of mind to descend into the underworld. You have to have a certain strength in order to prepare to even take such a journey. And as you remember, there's not just one gate. There's just not one process. Translate that to, there's just not one thing to heal. You may have to heal several things. As Inyana did, Inyana had to go through 7 gates. And so right now, Spirit is even saying you need to pace yourself as you descend into your shadow, as you descend into the unconscious. This is about pacing yourself. And it's always, remember that a piece of you, some essence of you, will be left behind in that healing process. For what I'm hearing here from Spirit is that a part of you, an identity that you thought you were going to have for the rest of your life, suddenly dissolves. It's something that you can leave at that particular gate as you heal the issues that that identity held for you. So Ayana is also reminding us that there is wisdom that is found on heaven, earth, as well as the underworld. This is a cautionary warning that your healing process cannot only be about the light. Your healing process, the deep healing process, will be about your darkness, will be about your shadow, will be about those things that are really scary to face sometimes about ourselves. Many of us have fears around or shame around expressing some of the things that keep us disturbed by our behavior. So Spirit is letting you know that true healing has to address that shadowy part as well. So Inyana here is here for you, group number 1, to really say that there's strength here in how you navigate this next healing journey. There's a sense that you have been preparing, that you have been looking at maybe relationships and really beginning to address things that are toxic in your relationships, address codependency, address feelings of worthlessness, or, addressing your needs, getting the support that you need. There's so much that goes into looking at the energy that's already around us. So Inyana's reminding us here that you have already, group number 1, you've already been in this healing process, and now you are coming to the place where you're getting ready to descend. It's almost like a roller coaster. Spirit's giving me that imagery of a roller coaster where it slowly ticks to the very top of the mountain. It's tick, 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 tick. And the next thing you know, it reaches the top and there's a pause. And that pause, is a little bit dramatic. It's there so that we'll be like, well, what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. When are we going to descend down? And that is what Spirit is saying. Some of this descent is going to feel like. What's going to be there when I look into my shadow side? What am I going to be able to handle the amount of pain that I've hidden from myself or have not, or suppressed or not addressed throughout the years? And Spirit is saying, because of all the hard work that you've done, because I really get here, group number 1, that you are part of a group that has been on your healing journey for a while. You see it as an onion. You're just peeling back the layers. But this final layer, and Spirit is saying the word final is a little bit final, but this next journey, it will be a big one for you, group number 1. Let's look at the oracle cards that I chose prior to. Time out. It's almost as if, and that timeout has the number 32 up top, which comes to 5. So again, signaling that there is this change comes with a need to really scale back from busyness, from urgency, to get to a place of inner peace, because this change that you are walking into, group number one, this journey you're getting ready to take, it will require a vast amount of energy. That is what Spirit is showing me. And that energy, as you see it around this tree, it's going to be the use of all of your divine inner wisdom that you've accumulated so far. But it's also going to speak to all of the wisdom of your ancestors. I don't know if you can see it in this card. I'm going to move it up really close. But right here is a face that is at the root of this tree. And what it speaks to me is that this is an ancestral journey, meaning you will be on a journey to address the shadow of your ancestors' pain. This is an ancestral wound, group number one, that you will be attempting to heal, not only for yourself, but for future generations. And those future, in some indigenous traditions, that future generation is 7 generations out. So the work that you're doing right now, group number one, will impact 7 generations to come. So I believe that many of you are going to know the seriousness of this next healing journey that you're going to be on. And Spirit is saying part of that preparation is for you to be able to take time out, for you to settle your dust, for you to make adjustments to your schedule, for you to look at all the things you're responsible for and create sacred space for yourself to emotionally metabolize whatever is coming forward on this journey. Because, wow, you have the unknown here. Number 5, again, number 5, group number one. This card is number 5, the unknown, knowing the unknown. So again, Spirit is preparing you, group number one, and this is almost like a high priestess card to me, meaning you're sitting between the 2 pillars, consciousness and unconsciousness, and your world is quite at the center of that. How you define your world, how you navigate your world sits between the pillars of the consciousness and the unconsciousness. And here you are, a symbol of you, regardless of gender, facing the gateway of the shadow. And this gateway, as you see, there's like water all surrounding it. You're wading in the water. You're entering into the water. This is the symbol of the emotions of this journey, group number one. This is going to be a highly emotional journey, which is why this time out is so important. It's critical for you. And I think you will start to know that you're on the precipice of something very powerful, group number one, something that you are going to need to do deep self-care around. But Spirit is letting you know, yes, you're going to need ample support, ample time. You may need to look at trips you planned, vacations you've planned, events you've planned. Give yourself a lot of space emotionally to be able to sit with what comes forward on this journey. Lastly, we have the dreamer here. This dreamer, it speaks to a lot of this wisdom is going to be coming forth through your dreams. Your dreams, as you do whatever process that you engage with. For some of you, it may be therapy. For some of you, it may be plant medicine, ceremonies, spiritual ceremonies of some sort. You know, even Spirit is telling me some of you may get a baptism in a river, you know, like whatever the mechanism is going to be, that will serve as the portal for you going and descending into the underworld, group number 1. It is going to awaken your dreams. It's, you know, it's going to start, you're going to start to receive vital information through your dreams. And Spirit is letting you know that it's going to be critical for you to record, get in the habit of recording your dreams, for working with your dreams with a practitioner that specializes in dream work. I do that kind of work for many of my clients. And oromancy, if you haven't heard of that before, it is working with dreams as prophecy, as divination, and which is something that I do. So you will be looking at your dreams in a sense of what these dreams are trying to tell you, where your ancestors may be showing up in these dreams, your guides showing up in these dreams, even your future self showing up in these dreams. So Spirit is saying your dream life is going to be very important in this process of healing, group number 1. So let's look at the opening tarot. You have Justice. You have the Queen of Wands. And you have the 8 of Cups. What's interesting here, because this is the after tarot, so it has the light aspect and the shadow aspect. The shadow aspect is here for all of these cards. It doesn't mean good or bad. It's just how you're looking at the meaning of these cards. There will be a sense in whatever it is that you need to address in your healing of this ancestral wound, group number 1. It very much has to do with issues around justice. There's something here that your ancestors are calling for you to bring to justice, to bring to resolution. And this Justice card, it can be a decision is finally made. I would take that as the more upright meaning. But in the underworld meaning, I feel that justice is speaking to maybe generations of feeling that life had been unjust. It could have been around a particular issue. It could have been around a particular event. But your ancestors are pointing to the work that you're getting ready to do has to do with the lineage line's sense of justice, sense of resolution. And what you will be doing here is embodying the energy of a Queen of Wands. A Queen of Wands and a King of Wands, regardless of gender, you all. This energy is a warrior. The staff is that of a warrior. A warrior that is unafraid to go into the darkness. The Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, these are the leaders that will go into battle with their soldiers. They don't wait in the castle. They don't wait in the background or at camp. They lead the charge into the darkness, into the dark forest. These leaders go. They are leading their warriors into battle. And there's something here about you still being able to, like, there's something about you honing this power that becomes Spirit is showing it to me. This power, you will learn to wear it very well, group number 1. You will wear it so well that it becomes very attractive to everyone who's around you. It's like a beacon for I don't know, the word is sexiness. Like, it is sexy on you. It's like the way, you know how some people, they're a warrior, you can feel the energy on them. You can feel that the strength on them, their virility. And this red dress that this Queen of Wands is wearing, it's your virility, it's the blood, it's the lineage, it's the strength of that lineage that you will tap into. Because I think you all, group number 1, you are from a lineage of warriors. Warriors who have had to fight many battles, but I'm getting a sense, and Spirit is kind of giving me that channeled message that there was a battle that you couldn't win. There was a battle that maybe was you were cheated out of. There was a battle that and this battle could be symbolic, you all, or it could be quite physical. So take it where it will resonate, but also leave some room for flexibility. Because Spirit is showing me the battle could be substance, like generations of people who succumb to substance, addiction. Or the battle could have been generations of people who succumb to poverty. The battle doesn't always have to be that someone was physically fighting, but it could be symbolic of a biological fight, a financial fight, an educational fight, a fight around staying free, like being out of bondage, being out of incarceration. Take it where it resonates. And this 8 of Cups here, it's very interesting because that shadow is saying, when the 8 of Cups is upright, there's something about that 8 of Cups saying, I've done all of the good work that I've needed to do. I'm able to walk away from the work that I've done here with no shame. My cups are in good health. I just see that the key of life is leading me elsewhere. Whereas when it's in its shadow side, there's a sense of like having to leave under duress, having to, when it comes to your ancestors in group 1, or kind of some of them are channeling in and saying, yes, we had to leave our homeland. We had to leave our homeland under duress. Some of you may have family histories where you had to migrate under duress. You had to leave a place that you had called home for generations to go somewhere else. And that key, it's being held tightly. If you look in the fist of this warrior, it's like this key will always be the key to my home, even if I leave it, even if I have to go. There's something emotional with all this rain that's coming down around the figure. There's something very emotional about this departure. So let's go to the tarot group number 1. This is pretty deep, what Spirit is showing that your ancestors are directing you to work on. Some of you may need to reconnect with an ancestral home. Going back to the place where your great-great-great-great-grandfather and grandmother were born. Some of you will need to rewrite the story of your family's wellness because there's been so much unhealthy behavior, so many unhealthy patterns. Let's clarify the Justice card. You've got 5 of Cups in reverse. Clarifying the Queen of Wands. You've got the Lovers. And clarifying the 8 of Cups. You have the 10 of Wands. at the bottom of the deck is the King of Wands. It was in reverse, so we'll take it. So the overall energy, when the King of Wands is in reverse, there's this sense of not really being grounded in your warriorship, being a little bit more arrogant about your abilities instead of really showing your abilities. You're always talking about your abilities. You know, there's somebody here who's not humble, someone here who could even disregard a lot of people's emotions. This energy is very interesting because it's showing up here as perhaps just a caution I'm hearing, because this healing path of warriorship, the way that you may experience it, group number one, is through a lot of accolades. Remember when I said when that Queen of Wands wears this red dress, it's passionate, it's attractive to people, it's sexy. As you begin to tap into this ancestral energy of wands, of fire, of passion, of sex, it's going to it's gonna come forward on you, group number one. You're going to illuminate that as an energy, as a smell. It's gonna be a pheromone that people connect with, because you're connecting with a lineage of proud warriors. The warrior is very virile, attractive. Everybody wants the warrior in their company, in their bed, I hear spirit saying. you know. So there's something here when you start to do this journey. It's going to look different for everyone, but group number one, when you start this journey, you're going to wear the energy of your former ancestors like a cloak. And like I said, people will be very attracted to it. And so I guess you're being warned here to not think this is just you, to understand that this energy is coming forward because your ancestors carried that energy. And as you begin this healing journey, to not get caught up in your ego, because it will be very easy to do. A lot of people will be pulling on your energy, wanting you in their energy, and it's so easy to start to think, this is me. But your ancestors are saying here with that Five of Cups in reverse, it will feel like you're healing from something. It will feel like a weight is lifted, and that energy that is restored, it will give you energy to feel better in your body. And that feeling better, that healing, that initial feeling of healing, it's invigorating. You may go out and exercise, you may go out and change your hairstyle, you may go out and get new clothing. There's something energizing about how you're holding this energy. You're going to feel different, and you're going to want to look different in some cases. And the Lovers is here, just what we're talking about, group number one. I don't know why this reading is going this way, but Spirit is saying there is something about you doing this ancestral healing that is going to make you attractive to people. Very attractive. If not, and not only sexually, people will want you in their energy, whether they want to partner with you in a business, whether they want to be friends with you. It's almost giving me like fame. It's giving me like that kind of like highly visible persona. So for some of you, Spirit is saying you on this journey, you may become well known for something. You may boost your public image, and that is going to put you in a in a circle of people who really want to be around you, who really love what you're doing. You've got this 10 of Wands here, clarifying the 8 of Cups. It's important here to understand that your hard work over the years will pay off as you get ready to do this piece of your ancestral healing. Excuse me. And that hard work, it's something that you will carry with grace. It's something that you know was worthwhile. Excuse me. And you know it has been worthwhile. You know that it's part of the work that you do. And it will come with a sense of accomplishment. It's hard work. And maybe you will feel really good about that. And I think here, Spirit is not saying to not feel good about that work, but to also just be careful to monitor your being humble, staying in the energy of humbleness, which I don't think would be hard for either of you. I think it's just coming up as a warning. It's coming up as, don't let your ego get in the way. Don't let your ego, take you away from what your ancestors are really trying ultimately for you to do. Let's see if there's any last few messages. I've been told to take one more round here. Five of Swords. Again, so many fives. Group number 1. Death. 4 of Wands. Wow. You are going to need to also be aware, because Spirit is saying this 5 of Swords, it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a negative card in this sense. You are reclaiming something that your ancestors, because do you look at this card? You're reclaiming the victory for your ancestors. And that reclamation of the victory for your ancestors will have a lot of people feeling some kind of way. And in that sense, there's something about how you hold this dramatic change. There's something about how you hold this deep transformative process that you're in, because death is here. You are not going to be the same person. You are going into new territory with new tools, with new knowledge. And that new tool, new knowledge, it's going to give you something to celebrate. It's going to bring you into a whole new circle of people. It will bring you a whole circle of relationships, opportunities. And this is what your ancestors want for you. This is what is destined for you, that 4 of Wands, that celebration. In some cases, for some of you, a very, the marriage, the relationship you've always wanted. Sometimes this is marriage to me, but it could be the relationship you've always wanted. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be the relationship with yourself you've always wanted. Excuse me, it's just so much here that I'm talking about. I feel the depth in my throat even. And at the bottom of the deck is an Ace of Coins. It's going to bring you into a new beginning financially, materially. So group number 1, this is a very beautiful, powerful reading, because it's saying that this journey of ancestral healing, of really doing this work for the future generations, you're set up to succeed. You're set up to succeed. And your future generations, this is generational wealth, that the beginning of generational wealth. This is the beginning of broken patterns of wounds that are healing. wounds that, you know, are finally healing so that future generations don't have to deal with this. And it's also something that you will see positively impacts your life. So this is how your shadow will be healing. This is what your ancestors wanted to share. This is the work, the journey for you, group number 1. If you resonated with this reading, I really would like to know. Please put the group number 1 below and comment like where if you feel like it. But please put a thumbs up on this video if you liked it, if you like the way I read. And please follow this channel, and so you'll get notified when I upload new videos. You could just click that bell and that's it. But thank you so much for joining me here. Thank you so much for allowing me in your energy to like be able to bring forth this powerful reading, group number 1. This is pretty badass. Okay, take care. Hello, group number 2. So you chose, I'm trying to pick up all these cards that are underneath here. You chose calling the spirits. Let me see if you can see that. It looks like you can. Calling the spirits. It's a very powerful card. And group number 2, we're looking into what is it that you need to know about this next journey, your next journey into the depths, your next journey into your unconscious. What is it that your ancestors and your spirit guides, all who sit at the feet of God, want you to know about this next journey? Because as I said in the intro, and I've even mentioned this to group number 1, you will be partaking on something that maybe you have always been feeling up to this point you've been doing, healing yourself. But this call to the spirits, it's very interesting because I'm going to read a little bit out of the book here. It says, allow yourself to receive the power and support that is all around you. When you call to the spirits, you step into a new space with confidence. But be mindful of preparing well for a new undertaking. Always remember to honor ritual as a way to invoke the presence of spirit. This is important here, group number 2, that you will be calling in, you will be evoking in spirit in this next journey. And what you need to know about this particular action, group number 2, I'm hearing spirit say, is sometimes the act of invoking is a very powerful action. It is as if you are saying, spirit, turn on the lights. You're giving the cue, turn on my journey. And there's something important here for you, group number 2, to know that you will need to take a specific action to make this journey into your depths, into your shadow, become a reality, to start the motion. It's in spirit is also saying here that this is also about free will. There's things that our ancestors can tell us that they would like us to do, but in the end, we have the free will, and we must exercise free will to put things in motion that our ancestors and our spirit guides are urging us to do or inviting us to do, however you want to look at it. But ultimately, it's up to us. And so group number 2, I think this calling of the spirits is really saying to you, you will need to call in this journey in order to begin. Now let's look at all of your, I picked some oracle cards and then we'll do some tarot readings as well. These kind of got a little mixed up. Let's go here, do it like that. Okay. So the first oracle card, Mother Earth. Wow. Number 22, if you're interested in the number. Mother Earth. I don't know if you all see this, but this card is powerful. Wow. Okay, so group number 2. Interesting because it's a 2-2 here as well. There's like this energy. It's like this journey that you're getting ready to take into the lower world. It's to greet, I'm hearing Spirit say, it's to greet the energy of the mother. Quite literally, some of you, many of you in this group are getting ready to go meet Mother Earth. This earth energy has many names: Gaia, Mother, Grandmother, the Great Serpent, the Great Mermaid, the Great, water goddess, the Great Tree. There's cross-culturally, she's called so many things. Asasiya is just one of her names. So group number 2, you are taking some kind of journey to speak directly to Mother Earth. I don't need to tell you, this will probably be a journey that includes being out in nature somewhere in nature. It could be the ocean, it could be a mountain, it could be a cave, it could be the desert. Wherever you are going, group number 2, it's quite literally you will be going to meet and speak with and commune with Mother Earth as part of this healing journey. Wow. The presence of absence. Hold what is absent in the presence of your love. This is a deep card, group number 2, for many reasons, but immediately I'm being shown 35, by the way, comes to 8. 8 is divisible by 2. So again, group number 2, multitudes of 2 happening here. But in this imagery, you see someone who's thinking of, reminiscing about someone who's passed on. And here I'm being told, group number 2, that this journey, this healing journey, is about a loss. It could have been a recent loss. It can be an ancestral loss. But I think for many of you, this has to do with a lost loved one, someone you knew in their living life, who's now an ancestor to you. And the impact of them, of missing them. What's the impact been on your family? And there's something here about the mourning and grieving process, group number 2, that I'm getting called to as part of your descent. Part of your shadowy journey is to heal from this grief, to heal from this loss, to really dive into your bereavement. We do live in a world, well, let me clarify that. We live in a society, if you live in the United States or some kind of Western world, we live in a society that doesn't give a lot of time to grief. When people are gone, at least in the society I live in, they quite literally expect your grief to just happen over a week or so. There's not a lot of time. People don't know how to help you grieve in this society. People don't give... There's something about time and the sense that not a lot of time is needed, or that grief will just kind of happen. There's not really any container for holding grief and loss and bereavement. And so group number 2, if this is not feeling like your group, you can go to another one, but this has to do, your journey into this unconsciousness has to do with grief, giving yourself time to grieve, giving yourself time to mourn loss. And it doesn't have to be a recent loss. It could have been a loss that you experienced in your lifetime. I'm hearing for some of you, it may even be the loss of a pregnancy, like a miscarriage, you know. For other people, it will be someone who was an elder in your family. For others, different people. It might be a spouse. I say spouse, and then we get this companion card here. Look at that. And 39 comes to 12. Again, divided by 2. The companion. You see this figure is kind of moving around a cauldron. This fire, what ignites you in the dark? What gives you energy? What gives you life, even in the dark? Group number 2. And as I spoke of, like, maybe the loss of a spouse, it says the companion. There could be a loss of a companion. It doesn't have to be necessarily even someone related to you. It could have been the loss of a friend. But this loss, something very significant, is coming back around for you to heal. And I just had a candle here, and it just burned out to the very end. It's giving me there was an ending that you now need to give your time to, group number 2. You now need to take the time to heal, to do some work around this grieving process. Let's go to the tarot cards. We have a 9 of Wands. We have the Death card, quite literally. And we have the 6 of Wands. Group number 2, this 9 of Wands, it really is pointing to, up to this point, how much strength you've had to deal with this loss, to move forward with your life. Maybe there wasn't enough time to really get into a place of deep mourning. You had to move forward. You had to do some other work that required for you to push through. And this death, whatever this loss, it was a true death to you. That's what I'm hearing. This loss, it even had something inside of you die, change, transform. But it very much, you know, death in reverse here in this card, it's just feeling like this death, it put you in some kind of coldness. It really put you further away from your emotions. It really hasn't brought back the ability to be happy again, the ability to even feel joy again, to see the light. And so group number 2, this grieving process that you're getting ready to undertake, it's an action that will lead you into victory. You will be able to start to see once again, once you fully grieve, once you've fully gone through your bereavement process. Not saying that there's like a distinct beginning and end to this, but that in that process, whatever it is that you decide to do, you're going to feel and be able to witness other areas in your life where there is happiness, where there is success, where there is victory. But I think for many of you right now, it's hard to see the good things in life right now. It's hard to be in that energy of gratitude because there's been so much loss that hasn't been addressed. So this will be a time for many of you where you will get that opportunity to revisit this loss, to understand yourself more and what that loss means for you. Let's clarify this 9 of Wands. Clarifying the Nine of Wands is the Ten of Cups in reverse. Clarifying the Death. Clarifying Death is Four of Pentacles in reverse. And clarifying the Six of Wands is the Ace of Pentacles. Move these up just a little bit. So, clarifying the Nine of Wands here is a Ten of Cups. Again, this signals to me in this card a loss, a family loss. Some kind of loss of someone who was close and dear to you. And that there's still a lot of emotions surrounding this loss. And in this healing process, I think what you'll discover, group number 2, is that it's better for you to release these emotions. It's better for you to express these emotions rather than hang on to things. You want to release. You want to let go of what is really a huge wound. There may be some resentment that you're hanging on to. There may be some anger, some frustration that you're hanging on to. This process will help you begin to look at and contemplate, even contemplate what you could release. And this Ace of Pentacles, I think it's going to allow you to once again be back in this cycle of participating in your life, participating in your successes, having new beginnings happen for you. Some of you, Spirit is saying, will decide that maybe a home you shared with this person, you're ready to move out of it. Something that is keeping you kind of in the same energy, you're going to decide to switch out of. Maybe something that you shared with the person that you lost, you're willing to release it. You give it new life, give yourself new life. And that's just an example. But I think that there's going to be some symbolic actions taking place. Maybe you haven't packed up the personal belongings of someone and you're going to start to think about engaging in that process. Wherever you're located in this journey of grief, there will be some action that you'll end up taking as you find more and more resolution and inner peace and groundedness with this loss, that you're going to be able to release certain things, certain material things that held meaning, or you will decide to hang on to them. It's up to you. Spirit is saying to go one more round here. Group number 2. Yeah, you've got the Ace of Wands here. You've got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. And you've got the Four of Swords. This will be a time, group number 2, where this action to really devote to this grieving process, to this letting go process, it's going to allow you to take away some of the guilt. There is a wish here to move forward with your life, but there may be some guilt around moving forward. And I think you're going to come to some kind of resolution as you begin to go into that Four of Swords energy and just ground yourself in what could be true for you and what you could release. There's different kinds of truth. There's different ways of grieving. There's different ways of acknowledging loss. And I think group number 2, you're going to come to your own unique way of doing this, and it's going to allow you to move forward in life a way that you've always wanted to. Yes, look at the Hermit is at the bottom of the deck. There may be, for many of you, a going within, a pilgrimage, a hermitage. Maybe you're going to go on a meditation retreat. Maybe you're going to do something that's very sacred and prayerful to address this loss. And as you do that, as you go within, as you see that moon coming out and emerging, and you see that lantern right here, there's going to be ways in which you connect with these unfelt, unseen emotions, this unconscious part of yourself. And you're going to go within that cave and sit with how you feel, sit with the past, sit with those past experiences, sit with the complex feelings of loss. And as you do that, you emerge. You emerge with new feelings. Ace of Cups here. You're able to put those feelings in perspective. You're beginning to feel new around your emotions. Maybe just more access to these emotions. And I think you'll realize, one way or the other, there will be some things that you'll need to release and leave behind, and there'll be other things that you will be moving towards. This Six of Swords is not only about leaving, you are going towards something. Excuse me. And there's growth here in the very end, group number 2. A lot of growth. That Seven of Coins promises a growth that will lead you into the sun. A growth that will mark the end of a very heavy period in your life. So that is what I have, group number 2. Thank you for allowing me to be in your energy to read this journey for you. And if you resonate with this reading, if you like the way that I read, please like the video. Please put a comment below. Please subscribe to this channel. It's a way to help me grow my channel. I don't see who likes my videos, only if you comment. So you can like them in anonymously, but I really do appreciate your support. And yeah, I hope that all goes well for you on this journey, group number 2. It's a powerful one. Take care. Hello, group number 3. How are you? This is Kamara with Rooted Futures. Thank you for allowing me to read your energy. We'll be looking into your next shadow journey. What is it that your guides and your ancestors who sit at the feet of God want you to be aware of as you get ready to descend into the journey, perhaps into the lower world? And this lower world is very significant to this card, group number 3, that you resonated with. South American trip to the lower world. And as you look really close, you see a being that's kind of like, looks like it's floating in this water, floating into the depths of the ocean, maybe floating into their emotions, an exploration of emotions. And so let me read you a little bit about what it says in this ancient Ritual Postures deck book, the book for the deck. It says, who do you trust? Who are your spirit friends, your spirit animals, and others? Notice that it is time to face your fear of the dark. There are many worlds beneath the one that you think you know. So group number 3, this immediately speaks to me of a journey that really you're going to have to explore your fears around. Because group number 3, I think that there's something about addressing your fears, addressing your doubts when it comes to taking this next journey for your healing. but it's going to be a deep journey, right? And there's something in this journey that feels alive, that has the flavor of South America all over it, like beautiful flowers, beautiful colors. I'm hearing spices, I'm hearing flora. There's something very alive about this journey that you're taking. There's something about maybe even coming into your aliveness in this journey. Let's go to your oracle cards. There's some that I pre-picked already, and then we'll go to the tarot to do some more tarot. Wow, you have number 19, let go. So right away, group number 3, it's telling me that there's an aspect of you knowing this journey needs to happen, you knowing that you're ready and preparing for this journey to take place, but there's a certain aspect of needing to let go of things. This is kind of similar to number 2, group 2 in the beginning of evoking. They had to evoke, but I think you are in the action of needing to actually let go of your fears, let go of your doubts. Listen more to your intuition as you get ready to set off into this journey. There's something about this journey that won't be so straightforward for you, group number 3. It may hold some mystery. It may not have all the pieces showing up clearly. You may have to set out on the journey before you're even clear where you're going. You know, South America, when you say South America, like if someone said to me, I'm going to South America, my next question would be where? You know, because South America is a continent. It's not a place. I mean, it is a place in the sense of like location. There's a geographical location, but where are you going? And if someone said just South America, I would assume that they are getting ready to take some kind of journey that allows them the flexibility to go place to place. And discover different places. And I'm kind of getting that. That's what Spirit is showing me as the energy of this shadow work that you're getting ready to do. You may not know the depths of it all. You may not know what will be the right modality or what you'll end up doing, but you just need to give yourself permission. You need to give yourself the ability to let go of the past in some cases, I'm hearing, in order to move forward into this journey. Wow, look at that. 8, the weeping wound. You are not your wounds. So this is a deep image here, group number 3, because I think what it is saying here is that there are times where we can be so hurt, so much in the experience of being harmed, that we can begin to identify with just being the harmed one. Not the one that experienced harm, but the harmed one. Do you get the difference with that definition? It's almost as if our wounds become our identity instead of us being a person that experienced a hurt, that experienced a harm. And in some small way, Spirit is pointing out here, and don't take this too harshly, but there's a sense of like victimization. And in many ways, Spirit is saying, yes, you were the recipient of harm. And I don't know what harms you did experience, group number 3, but Spirit is saying, yes, you were the recipient of some harmful actions, but this is not all of who you are. And this journey that you're heading towards, group number 3, this journey of self-discovery, I'm hearing, will awaken in you a brand new identity. A brand new you will emerge from this healing process. Wow. You have the priestess of priorities. It's as if you look in this priestess' palms, their eyes here. It's as if you need to see life with new eyes. You need to see. The hands have always symbolized to me our autonomy, our agency. And when you put eyes within the hands, it's like there's new agency with a new point of view, with a new perspective, group number 3. This is a very deep card for you, because I keep hearing that this next level of healing for you is a brand new perspective, a brand new outlook. It's a way of looking at things that you haven't looked at before. And as you do this, you become much more of your powerful self. You restore a lot of the energy that was taken from you when that harm was done. And you're able to restore your energy, you're able to restore yourself to a place of power. Let's look at the tarot cards that we first pull, and then we'll clarify. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Hermit. You have the Two of Wands. In this deck, there's like a shadow and light aspect. The Page of Pentacles here, there's this sense of like wanting a new beginning, but also being stuck around how that new beginning needs to happen. Like almost as if that book represents needing to follow some rules, needing to follow the way other people have done something. That book kind of holds knowledge, but that knowledge seems to be holding the pentacle hostage. Do you get what I don't know if you could see that, but it's like the knowledge is holding the pentacle hostage. There's a way in which you want to grow. There's a way in which you want to take on new aspects of your life, but it's somehow being held by these thought patterns that don't allow for you to set out and create a new life for yourself, group number 3. And maybe this is in the past. Maybe this is something you're coming out of, because I see this Hermit energy. It's almost saying that it's in the present position. If I looked at these 3 cards and said past, present, future, there's something here about you being in Hermit energy, you holding up the light in the darkness and saying, I think this is the way for me to go. I think that this is the path that I need to follow. And the Hermit is holding this like vine of wisdom. It's like the Hermit is saying here, I am going to, you see how there's like new growth happening on the end of this vine, like little leaves are sprouting. I need to go and follow this light, and I want to go and start something new. I want to plant new roots somewhere else. So some of you will be maybe quite literally moving and rooting yourself in a different situation, or it can be a symbolic rooting, like you are going to uproot the way that you have been living life and transform into a different way of living. And this transformation, as you look at this Two of Wands almost in this darkness, it's as if you are having to transverse a lot of like dead territory. This is not a bad card for you, group number 3, because the territory that you're having to conquer now, it's old, it's dead, it's not providing you with any more life, but you are still going to have to transverse it. Like you're still going to have to navigate it, Spirit is saying, in order to get to a place of aliveness, in order to get to a place, you know, like you have to go through all of the debris, all of the decay to get to a new place. So this is part of the journey. Group number 3. Very powerful. I see you on that journey, and it feels like, you know, when you're here, it doesn't give me the sense of someone who's afraid anymore. You understand the assignment. Like, I've got to do this. I mean, yes, it's gnarly, it's nasty, it's dry, it's desolate, but I know that once I'm through this part, it's just a part of my life. It's not my whole life. That is what Spirit is showing me. That's what your guides are showing me. That's what your guides are saying. It's just a part of your life. It's not your entire life. Clarifying this Page of Pentacles, we have the Moon in reverse. Very interesting. Clarifying the Hermit, we have the 8 of Coins in reverse. And clarifying this 2 of Wands, we have the Queen, or actually this is the King of Cups, I believe. King of Cups in reverse. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. There's something very true about your assessment of your situation as you go into this path. Your assessment of knowing, okay, I'm on this journey. It's gonna include some aspects that I find difficult, that I find challenging. But this Page of Pentacles, it's almost as if you're saying, the Moon is saying here, I'm going to give you light. I'm not going to keep things in the dark. I'm going to allow you to see the way that you need to go. It's almost as if that is still the past position, it's as if this Moon is saying, I'm going to actually not keep things dark. I'm illuminate. This is full moon energy. Sometimes the Moon card in reverse is giving me full moon. Like the full moon, there's still ways that you can make your way in the dark under the light of that full moon. And that full moon is really going into what the Hermit is holding in its lantern. It's like that full moon illumination. It's still pretty dark. You know, every step you take, you're going to only be able to see so far in front of you, but there is illumination, there is light. This 8 of Coins, it's like keeping your head down, allowing yourself to just step by step go. The pace is slow, the pace is deliberate, but it's step by step that you are building something. Step by step, you are rebuilding your life. Step by step, you are healing. Group number 3. And then when you come to this King of Cups in reverse, again, you know, these 2 cards at the end, when it's showing in the future position, it can seem negative, but what Spirit is showing to me here is that the King of Cups normally is someone who their emotions are very contained. They only use their emotions in a very strategic way. You would find that the Queen of Cups is someone who's much more expressive, so much more giving. But when the King of Cups needs to, when there's a reverse energy, that King of Cups needs to go in and access and express their emotions. And so in this case with you, group number 3, you are not willing to just hang on to your emotions and process alone. You are going into territory now where you're in full expression, where you are fully expressing what this cup is missing, what this cup has had to endure for you. You're willing to share your story. You're willing to share your narrative. And I think this is going to be such a different way of life for you emotionally, group number 3. And I think it's definitely gonna show to those around you that you are changing, that you are healing. This Ace of Swords, there's something here where it's just like you are going to, it's giving me that whole like Excalibur kind of sword. Like, I am the only one that can wield this. I'm the only one that can really express what my truth is. And as I do that, this truth reverberates as me again. I'm whole, I'm complete because I'm expressing my truth. And there you are. Because what happens is that your world begins to rebuild itself from the material level, and you become a king of pentacles, king of coins here. You become, you sit on the throne of a material world now that feels steady to you, that feels solid to you. You're building relationships and community that feels solid. You're finding soul family. You're connecting with maybe your blood family. There's something here with this emotional work being done from this healing that restores your material life. Group number 3. It's very beautiful. I'm being told one more card. Look at that. Mastery of coin. So you have the king and the queen of pentacles here. This could be that you actually get into if you're not in a relationship, if you're single, this could be that you find your counterpart as a result of this healing work. If you are in a relationship, your current partner is going to become empowered with you on this journey. Something's going to shift in your current relationship to make it even more powerful than it had been before. So group number 3, this is beautiful. Actually, your guides and your ancestors and spirit are showing you, you do this work, good results. Good results. You will be blessed. No doubt. So group number 3, I hope that this was helpful for you. If you resonate with how I'm reading, if you resonate with this reading in particular, please comment below or like this video. It really helps for me to grow this channel when people interact with it. Liking this video will not tell me who you are. I only will know your account name if you comment. But please subscribe. You can click that bell so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. But otherwise, I'm very happy to read for you regardless. Thank you so much for trusting me with your energy. Take care.